All right, welcome to the Blessed Peace Live Weekend Syndicated Show. This is the segment where we sit down and talk to who's who right outside of your four walls. We talk to people who I call doing good in the neighborhood, movers and shakers, and we find out what is going on in the business sector of our community. On the show today, it's been a minute trying to get her in here, maybe because she's so booked and the money is piled up so high. Tammy Harper, it's all about makeup or something today. What are we talking about?
Talking hair, makeup, the beauty industry, being a godly entrepreneur.
Oh, okay.
Okay, trying to be saved and, make a little coin.
All right, so I was going to say this. The beauty industry, I don't think I've had anybody on the show to talk about, like, the beauty industry, hair and makeup. But this industry, when I think about that, I want to say, what's her name? Jenner or Rihanna? Both of them went to be billionaires from the game of beauty and makeup, right?
Yes, the Kardashians and Rihanna, absolutely.
Yeah. Is this an industry for regular folks or celebrities? How does the makeup industry work? All right.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, it works really by having a passion for makeup and for people.
Okay.
You are dealing with all types of personalities, all different types of needs.
Okay.
And there's so many sectors in the beauty world and in just the cosmetic world alone.
Yeah.
You have skincare, you have hair, you have makeup, you have photo shoots, you have weddings. So there's so many different aspects.
Media.
Yeah,
for sure.
Media.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many different avenues that you can choose to focus on.
Yeah.
However, at the end of the day, it all comes back to catering to the needs of the people.
Okay.
Making sure that you are pouring back into them as you are applying the makeup and meeting the needs of whatever service it is that they need.
Yeah, buddy, this is about to be really good. Hopefully she can fix this on me. We in 4K. You got to make sure I'm straight. I should let you do makeup on me before we even started. But since we here, man, go ahead, introduce yourself, introduce your business, and then just tell us how you got into that joint.
Okay, so my name is Tammy Harper. I am the owner of Flawless Envy Beauty Salon in Spring, Texas. It's located on 7111 FM 2920, Spring, Texas, inside French Quarter Salons. I'm a salon suite, but I also do freelance work. So I do a lot of brides, weddings, photo shoots, one-on-one tutorials. I've even had my own makeup classes and one-on-ones with clients. And I travel. I went to Mexico to do a wedding, which I love. Like, I absolutely love that travel can be incorporated in my business.
Yeah.
And so and I get a chance to see the world and leave home.
You mentioned godly.
Oh, yeah.
Christian makeup. Give you that godly glow or something.
Yes, Lord. So, and there's actually a story behind that. I was a MAC artist. I worked for MAC Cosmetics for 8 years full time.
Was that in the mall or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I worked at the Macy's in the Woodlands Mall.
Okay.
I was the assistant manager for 7 years.
Okay.
And I think the day or the pivotal moment for me happened when I had a client come up to the counter and she just was in a funk, right? And I'm a happy person. Like, I smile, I laugh, I'm going to try to pour into you. But she was just in a really bad space, right? And so I'm just trying to, work it through, get her all the things that she needs. And I'm doing her blush. And all of a sudden she says, my daughter died. And I was like, okay, what do I do with that? But then it also explained to me why her energy, why her presence, why she was just so negative. Yeah. And it was almost like somebody cracked open an egg because now that wall is down and she feels safe with me. Yeah. So then I started to pour into her because my son's father was killed when I was 9 months pregnant. So I know what it is to have a loss, an unexpected loss. Yeah. And once we started talking, once she actually opened up to me, is when I was able to pour into her. Yeah. And so sometimes people think people are coming up to a makeup counter or they're coming to get their makeup done because it's all about the physical, right? But sometimes people are spiritually broken, and they feel like putting on makeup just helps lift their spirits. Yeah.
Man, I got to say this because my barber who cuts my hair, he actually said, I mean, we all know inside of a men's barbershop, that's like our country club, right? But he actually said, man, they should actually be able to be certified as therapists. Right? Because, I mean, for the people watching this, when you go get your hair done, when you go get your hair cut and all of that, you sit there and you develop a relationship with the person working on your hair. You might be talking about your divorce. You might be talking about money. You might be talking about kids. So do you feel like you are somewhat a therapist or a counselor?
Prayer warrior, counselor, entrepreneur, networker, like all of the things. I have literally anointed people in my salon. I have literally prayed over people for their parents, for their health, for their mental state, all of the things. Like, it absolutely is a platform and a place, like, where people really can, it's a pivotal moment, like they can turn their life around, or just having that conversation, and outlet, because sometimes it's easier to talk to somebody that you don't know than somebody that you do know.
That is very true. That is so true.
And once they see that I'm not judging them, right, because I have to do that. I mean, I've heard some crazy stories that will never leave my salon, but I can tell by the time that the person left there that it was never about the hair. It was about God creating a space, a safe space, and an opportunity for them to let out whatever it is that they need to let out, or have that conversation.
Love it. Inside the Blessed Weeks Live Weekend Syndicated Show. Tammy H, Flawless Envy maker. I just know the word of flawless on there. Let's go there. Let's go there. The makeup industry from a man's point of view. I gotta ask you. Is makeup a cover-up, or is makeup an enhancement?
Ooh,
honestly.
That is such a good question. For some, it's one, and others, it's the other answer. For some, it is to cover up, and some to enhance. I'm always encouraging the enhancement. All of us are beautifully and divinely made. God does not make mistakes. And so what I try to help people realize is just that. Sometimes a woman to come in and say, oh, I hate my eyes, or, oh, I don't have a bridge to my nose, or, oh, my lips are too small, or, oh, I don't have eyelashes. It's my job and my duty to help them see themselves how God sees them.
I gotta ask you though. Okay, I gotta ask you. I've been waiting to ask you this one. I'll be scrolling the streets of the gram, and every now and then you see them tutorials, and girls will come on there, right? And they'll be looking like person X right now. And then they'll do the speeding up the video, and it's right? And then they finish, and they don't look like the same person at all.
Right.
Is this an enhancement or a cover-up?
That is more of a cover-up.
Okay.
Umpteenth ability, and those makeup videos are the ones I cringe.
Really?
Yes, because it doesn't take all that, especially the ones where they are putting on 4 layers of makeup. Honey,
it doesn't take all that.
It does not take all of that. It really doesn't.
Wow.
If you cannot put on your foundation in less than 2 minutes, it's too much.
All right, so me not knowing anything about makeup, somebody's watching right now. Give us the basics of enhancement for the basic girl, right? Yes. Just the basics. You're not going to the Grammys. You're not going to the prom. This is just on your way to work. What is too much, and what is you good, girl?
So, I always start out with skincare. Skincare is your foundation.
You have to know a lot about skincare.
Oh my
and
gosh,
tone
yes.
too.
And tone.
Okay.
And pigments. And so a lot of people don't realize that whenever you're dealing with discoloration in the skin, it's either genetic, health. It can be health. For example, I can look at a person and look at their under eyes and be like, you have kidney and liver issues. So are you on high blood pressure medication?
I'm nervous right I'm not going to look you in your eye no more today. But go ahead. Keep going.
So it can tell me a lot about what's going on in your body. Like, if your lips are dry. Right? Or if the pigments of the lips are a different color.
Yeah.
All of those things tell me what's going on internally.
Gotcha.
So that's when color correction comes into play. That's where skincare comes into play. Because if you are not moisturizing, if you are not washing your face, if you are sleeping in your makeup, all of that shows in your
People
skin.
do that?
People do it.
Sleep with the makeup on.
Honey, I had a client boldly tell me that she sleeps in her makeup because her husband had never seen her without makeup.
Okay.
And so I just was like, on the inside, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But personally, of course, I couldn't show that on my face.
Yeah.
So that's when I introduced skincare to her. Take off your makeup, wash your face. So skincare, your natural makeup look always starts with your skincare, right?
Okay.
Drink your water, take your vitamins, wash your face, exfoliate. So once you have that, once you have a nice, clean, beautiful, shiny palette, all we're doing is enhancing at that point.
Okay.
So from that point, there's literally, for example, I've done makeup where I've literally just put a little bit of concealer on with a brush and set it with powder, and then it was enough.
Now, you got to tell me what concealer is, right?
Concealer?
Oh, because I got to say this, and I know somebody going to jump in the comments and be like, see, he trolling that. Most dudes, right?
Yeah. We
going to know some lipstick for sure, right?
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to get trolled. This...
calling your wife. I'ma tell.
What's this?
Eyeshadow.
What's this?
Blush.
That's what we know. Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
No foundation? You forgot foundation.
I thought
that's the powder.
Okay.
You know it is powder.
Okay, go for it.
So, wait, what was the question?
The basic girl, you start with the
with the skincare.
Yeah, skincare. There you go. There you go.
So, after skincare, we start with concealer. So concealer is used, I call it the makeup eraser.
Okay.
Concealer helps to conceal or cancel or correct discoloration in the face. For example, on darker skin tones, sometimes there's darker, spots, blemishes, whatnot.
Yeah.
I use color corrector.
Okay.
I have to use orange color corrector to help balance out the skin tone before I go in with foundation and primer.
Okay.
So once you do that, if that's even a need, that's a step that you would take. But if you don't have to do color correction, it's really all about finding a texture foundation that you like. So in Houston, the humidity is crazy.
Talk about it.
For years, I just used powder foundation. It was easy. It's dry. I can do it at a stoplight. I can do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Liquid foundations tend to take a little bit longer because you got to, blend it all out. And sometimes if you're in a rush, you don't let it dry. It can prevent unevenness. And that's not cute. That's not the goal.
Okay.
So skincare, concealer, foundation, whether it's powder or liquid, a little bit of gloss, blush.
Yeah.
Really, for me, eyeshadow isn't even necessary, but definitely mascara.
Yeah.
And groomed brows.
Mascara is this stuff, right? See, I got that one. I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, the little hairs on
Yeah. I got to ask you 2 questions about this makeup game. As the technology in makeup, what about the oily skin person or the sweaty person? Does it run? Because you mentioned the person sleeping in it, and I'm figuring as soon as you lay your head on a pillow, is it coming off?
Is it coming all the way off? Now, there are products on the market that can help seal the makeup. One Size is one that's really popular right now. Benefit has the all-nighter, I believe. MAC has the Prep and Prime line. So there are products that help seal the makeup in and set the makeup, which is 2 totally different things. One is a finisher, one is a hydrator. Okay. So there are levels, but yes, there are products that can help keep it on, in addition to putting primer on your face before you put your makeup on.
Yeah. All right, and then I also got to ask you the average. I know somebody might be slower, faster. Because if I ask a guy, what's the average amount of time for a haircut, I can give you a roundabout. You're gonna, if y'all talking about LeBron and them, it might be a little bit longer. But what's the average sit down time? And I guess I'm asking for the fellas. Y'all always late when it's time to do the makeup. but what's the average time? Just boom, boom, boom. We're going out to eat.
I would say about for the pro, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, not so bad.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Now, if you're coming in for a makeup application, I'm talking to you about your look.
Yeah.
We're looking at pictures. We're discussing all of your needs. It takes about 45 minutes.
Prom night, Grammy night, 45 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's a haircut.
I usually round it out to an hour.
Okay.
Just because if they got to go to the bathroom or your lash isn't going on right, you know, or we got to take off the lip color because it's too shiny. I like to have that cushion of about 15 minutes, but on average, it takes about 45 minutes.
Love it. Learning a lot about makeup, foundation. I feel like I need to go wash my face, drink some more water, put some Vaseline on. I got some vitamins right now. I'm fresh out the gym, knowing my pores. Oh, I feel so... All right, let's talk business and faith with the makeup game, man. This is so good. One, what was your last job before you started making this your career? You found a passion for it, you found faith through it. You said you was working in Max, but what was the job before that?
I sold cars.
CarMax?
No, Gilman, Acura, Mitsubishi on the north side.
Well, I'm going to say, because I sold cars before I got into media. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't sell them. I washed them. But whatever.
we same thing.
Okay.
No, I sold cars.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved people, and I've always loved sales. I like the competitiveness of it. And I like that my job isn't just so repetitive. Like, I'm meeting different people. The whole race of, okay, how much money am I going to make off this car? Like, I love that part. However, working commission is not always fun.
No, that's not what's up.
Right. And it's cool when you stay at your mom's house and you don't have a mortgage. However, I had decided, well, my son's father had passed away, and it was like, okay, I have to get serious now. Okay. I have to have a 401k. I have to have health insurance. But I have to love what I do. And so I was talking to my son's godfather, kind of was doing some soul searching in between selling cars and applying for MAC Cosmetics. And he told me to write a list of all of the things that I love to do that I could do for free. If I didn't get paid, would I still love it? And so I wrote this list. And I had taken cosmetology in high school. So I had already had the credentials to do it. All I had to do is basically go get take the test to get my license. And it was one of those things, you know how you always like, man, I should have did that. Yeah. And so what I did was I went ahead, took the test, got the license, because I felt like whether I wanted to do hair or do makeup, I was going to need that license. Okay. And it's something it lasts a lifetime. It's literally just like having a degree. Okay. So I went ahead, got my license, and applied for MAC. Okay. How I got there was I didn't really want any of
when I'm walking in the mall and we go by like the MAC store, everybody in there got to have a license to be in this. You can't just go fill out an application to work up in there.
Well, actually, you can't. In the state of Texas, you don't have to have a license to do makeup.
Okay.
Which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
But if you do, it kind of ensures you getting your foot in the door.
Okay, I got you.
It kind of helps. So it's kind of like, okay, this person has taken time.
Yeah.
To go to school, to understand aesthetics and skincare and all. You know, they can understand the color wheel. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that kind of helps them know, okay, this person can confidently be thrown on the floor and start beating faces. Okay. All
right, so then you jumped. Okay, you spent some time at MAC. How long were you there?
7, 8 years.
Okay, that's a good internship.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And then I freelanced for about 4 or 5 years. Okay. After that with the company. Okay, so freelance still under the MAC brand. Yes,
okay.
Under the MAC brand.
Then you jumped off the porch and said, I'm going to be my own person. Yeah. Somebody's watching, and we've been talking business and entrepreneurship. Yes. How was that start? Keep it 1,000, because I know somebody's like, yo, I want to do it, right? Yeah. Maybe they're not in makeup, but I want to do it. I'm scared. Talk about it.
So what I did was, you have to be smart. Like, we all have dreams, and those who are wanting to be entrepreneurs, you have to be smart about it, right? You can't just say, oh, I'm going to wake up today and I'm just going to go, be
start
a freelance
business.
Makeup artist, because this is it's legit a hustle.
It don't start out great.
It don't start out great. Yeah. So the way I actually transitioned to it was...
Wait, but you've been at MAC 7 years. You got to have people that come in, I'm looking for talent.
But at the end, you do. But at the end of the day, that's a MAC customer. I can't take that.
They're not your customer.
They're not my customers. Okay. They have an experience with me at MAC Cosmetics.
Taking those joints, boy.
Right. So what Tammy did, now that I don't work for MAC no more, because Facebook wasn't around, right? Okay. We didn't have social media.
Right.
I built relationships with my customers to where it was like, hey, girl, you want to go to dinner? Or, hey, my daughter's having a birthday party. So I built relationships with my clients, right? Yes. And so then it was like when I decided to leave, because, of course, the company doesn't want you to tell you their clients
that you leaving.
That you're leaving. So what I would do is like, hey, girl, here's my phone number, because I couldn't solicit, right? So I would get a blank sheet of paper, nothing with Macy's number on it, nothing with Mac's number on it. Awesome. Put my phone number in your phone, MUA. And that's how I start. Well, actually, let me back up with that, because when you work for MAC, they do allow you to freelance, or at least they did. Okay. So let's say you have a client that comes to the counter, is like, hey, I'm getting married, but I wanted to know if you can come to my house or to the venue or to the photo shoot. Yeah. Do you do that? And of course they do allow you to do that. So that was when I realized I could make what I make in a week at MAC in one day. So at this point, my husband and I, we had started to have, we got married wanted to start a family or add to the family.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't really want to work. Like, I don't want. So we really sat down and had a game plan. I'm going to start freelancing and start putting this money aside. And I said, babe, if I were to leave Mac and I didn't have to pay for lunch, I didn't have to pay for gas, I didn't have to, could we make it on one salary for like maybe a year? And he was just like, well, yeah, because at the end of the day, he didn't want our son going to daycare anyway.
That daycare created so many entrepreneurs, but go.
Our daycare bill for both boys was almost like maybe $100 off of my mortgage.
I was gonna say, if you got multiple kids, daycare, and I know this is off subject, daycare is a Range Rover. It is a Range Rover car. No, I'm letting you know that now before you start having kids. But go ahead. There's your Range Rover.
Right. Ting. So when I started freelancing with Mac, and my husband started to see how much money I was making freelancing, and he was like, well, we can kind of finagle this. I was like, I ain't gonna get my hair done, I ain't gonna get my nails done, do all the things, right? We decided, okay, let's go for it. But by this time, I've already got at least a year's worth of freelancing under my belt, right? And going back to building those relationships, you start to meet people that, you know, have businesses or have nieces or have nephews or have friends that need makeup. Yeah. Right? So I got my name out there. And another thing I would like to tell people is you got to stay in one place. In other words, you can't move around. You can't move around the city saying you're a makeup artist when you're first starting out. Kind of anchor yourself in an area and build your reputation in that area. And what that establishes is, hey, I know a girl who's down the street, because, you know, Houston is big.
Facts.
I don't want to drive into Houston just to get my makeup done. I want somebody that's down the street, that's 15 minutes from my house. So establish yourself in your area. Now we have social media, which is free marketing, right? So if you're hashtagging Spring, Texas, if you're hashtagging Houston, Texas, makeup artists, brides, freelance, you can basically market yourself.
It depends on what city are you in. We're sitting in Houston now, and you're right. You can build a whole career. You said you were from like the Woodlands area. You can build a whole career from just that area.
I literally have. And it's funny because I don't really market a lot because pretty much 90% of my clientele is referral.
Wow.
90%. But that's 22 years in the game.
Now you see the calculator just went out of my head. It wasn't great at first. No. Average time. I mean, because we know our average time for any business, what, 5, maybe 3 years before it looked like you can win, right? Right. And then you hit the 5-year mark. 95. Exactly. You hit that 5-year mark, you can breathe a little bit, right? And then you get confident around 6 or 7. And a lot of us don't make it that far. But what year for you did it become, oh yeah, this is the career? This is
2018.
How many years in the game at that point?
Yeah. 17 years.
17 years.
17 years of freelancing. I worked in another salon and was just their makeup artist. But it got to a point where my husband was just like, oh, let me back up and say I did it at my house for a little while. Okay. And that didn't work out because my husband got tired of people being in the house when
people pulling up. Yeah.
So he was like, babe, it's time. And I'm like, I don't want to. I got to pay rent. Yeah. I can keep all my money. Look, the roast is in the oven.
Let me ask you this. No family members, no mentors getting started. Girl, go get an LLC. Because a lot of people don't know this stuff.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I didn't even care about none of that. I just wanted to make some money.
Yeah.
I was so focused on the financial freedom part.
Yeah.
I didn't go the traditional way. Well, again, people have been marketing that. Let's just real talk since COVID.
Yeah.
Nobody talking about no LLC.
Facts, big facts.
Before COVID. Right. It was get you a business banking account, keep your money separate, and go make your money. If it's cash, don't nobody know about it.
Nobody know about nothing.
So I was surviving.
Right.
So 2018 is when it got real because now I got a whole address attached to my business.
Right, that's true. This is true.
It had to be legit.
Right.
Right. So that's when it got real for me.
Okay.
Because that's when, having the address, making sure your tax stuff is right.
Yes.
That's when it all really mattered, right?
Yeah.
And then also I really started at that point seeing that I could brand myself and really make something out of this long term. You have to believe that it can happen. Yeah. And you have to kind of see how it's all playing out and take it from there.
How much of your day-to-day operations is the makeup and the businesswoman?
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
good.
How much of it?
Oh, it really is actually more the business.
Yeah, because I'm
Makeup
assuming
is on the weekends, and you do have clients because I do work with several photographers because that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
Because working with a photographer helps to build your portfolio.
Okay.
You don't have to pay for pictures. You don't have to beg people to send you pictures after you've done their makeup.
Yeah.
And it's it's going to be the right megapixels, the right look. So I worked with several photographers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps keep my business busy throughout the week. My makeup business.
Yeah.
Now the hair part of it,
we didn't even get into
that's
that.
a whole nother
Yeah.
People coming for hair throughout the week really don't want to have to come on the weekends, but if they have to, they will.
Wait. Yeah, because I'm not gonna call out some of these companies that I've interviewed some of y'all, and y'all out here making. I seen what you driving in this hair game, because I learned these bundles.
What?
That's a Range Rover.
It's legit like pushing cocaine. Like I don't know if I can say that on air.
Yeah.
That hair game is a whole
Yeah.
nother.
And so you're into the hair game too.
I am. Look, I got my pinky toe in the hair game. I'm really working. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you said that because that's something I'm being very strategic about because it changes so fast, right?
The hair business changes?
The hair business. Right now, it's all about glueless wigs. It ain't even about bundles right now.
All right, so here go the part where they get in my comments again.
Yeah.
Listen, there was a time
Right.
where all the fellas... Okay, so let me stop. So let me just stop. Because, like, now it's so many... The wigs are cool.
Wigs are cool. Wigs are a blessing.
Okay, so at one point, we just thought weaves were, like...
That was it? That's the
weaves, and you weave to the braids. And, like, that's... Did you not just laugh at me? It's a whole lot. Because, like, now...
You got quick weaves. You got...
Yeah, our favorite celebrities wearing black, white, everybody wearing weaves.
Man, you got Indian hair, Remy Cambodian, Burmese curly, silky, straight, raw hair, Cambodian hair.
Does it matter hair texture, style, color, which one you can get? Or if I want Cambodian today, am I Cambodian? I can go get some Cambodian.
You know what I tell my clients? Whatever you want, you can buy.
I'm finna give you the double standard, though. Here's a double standard.
Okay.
We can't wear them. One. I mean, men.
Why not?
Hold on. I mean, I know they are, right? Right? But back to the makeup, right?
Yes.
Dude roll up on, and you do makeup.
I do.
Dude roll up on you trying to get your information, and he maked up on his face. You ain't giving him you ain't showing no love. No, you're not.
Well,
no, you're not.
What is it for?
It's enhancement.
I mean, but are we talking about you're about to go on camera?
Well, you're right, because when I do TV, they hit me up, right? But
we got to hit you up.
And I went to the grocery store after, like, look at everybody in the face. But you guys can do it before you leave the house to enhance the day, right? We can't do that. Come on, tell the truth. Let's be real. If a guy rolls up on a girl with makeup on, right, and then we get to these weaves too, right?
Right.
Is he getting any love? You see makeup on the guy.
I'm running because that just ain't for me. That ain't my guy. You know what I'm saying? I can't be worried about my NC45 missing because you wear the same You wear the same color. And I have a funny story. There's a guy who used to come in. He used to get NC45 MAC foundation powder, and it was his color, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's his shade. Like, he wearing makeup.
And I'm not saying I'm saying he a straight male.
He was a straight male. Oh, it gets even funnier. So he would buy it for months, right? Would come by every couple of months. NC45. He'd walk up, I already knew what he wanted. I was like, you need your concealer and your powder? He's like, yeah. But we never talked about if he was married or anything like that. So for the longest, I thought he was buying it for himself. He was really buying it for his wife. I walk into church about 4 years later, and I'm like, NC45. Like, I didn't even remember his name.
Can you look at somebody and tell what they got on?
Oh, yes. I can tell if you have powder on. I can tell you what shades you wear. I can tell you how big your pores are and recommend what type of foundation.
Yeah.
22 years in the game, though.
Right. All right. Wigs and weaves.
Tell me.
I'm 5 years in the game. I ain't got this me, right?
A little late too. For 5 years, okay.
But if guy with a weave, does he get respect or no?
Depends on how natural it looks. Because you can be catching about 12, 14, 16, 18 inches. And if it's put right and attached to your locks,
that ain't fair.
Whatever you want.
Can you tell if a guy got weave in?
Sometimes no, not with locks. They got them now to where it's like, do you know people sell their locks?
I done struggled all these years waiting.
People cut their locks and they attach them to other people's hair. You can totally.
I told my mama this is an investment. Don't let me get behind on the car, no. It's going down. How many inches you need?
It's organic.
All right, but how'd you learn? Who got you game on the hair industry? On how to buy, where to buy? Because I don't know.
Man, from wearing them for one. I've been wearing weave for so long. I think my first weave came in the 11th grade when I went to prom or homecoming. It was one of the two. And honey, my mama let me get a track or two glued into my little updo.
Is people still gluing them or no?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's called a quick weave. You can totally glue tracks on to a stocking cap, and that's called a quick weave. It's not braided on. It's not the braid with the hair. Like
okay. Well, because nowadays, like women can actually put a part in that joint, and you think you looking at scalp.
That's a lace front. Lace front.
She give me the game up.
Hey, those are the bee's knees.
Okay, is the lace front the expensive joints or no?
Oh yeah. Well, these days, see, that's the thing about it.
Okay.
It's always changing. So you can get a lace front in a synthetic. It used to be just human hair. But now you can get a synthetic lace front. You can get hair that's $30 and you get hair that's $3,000. It's all about where it's coming from, what it's made of. Yeah, it's real. It's real in these streets. You can even buy hair on Amazon.
Okay, and in the streets, it don't matter nowadays that it don't have to even look real no more, right?
Well, I mean, it depends on who you're trying to impress.
Well, because we can walk out here and see somebody with some orange hair. I know that ain't your hair, but like people walk around with that confidence, like, yeah, this is what it is. Yeah, yeah. I bought it. It's mine.
I bought it. It's mine.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. No, because really, it depends on your mindset on hair. Like for me, it burns my hide when people say, if you don't wear your natural hair, you're not being authentic, you're not being your real self. No, I like to change my hair. Like I change my tennis shoes, my jewelry.
It's fashionable. It's fashion.
It's an accessory. I know exactly who I am.
So is there still a stigma about it?
Absolutely.
From natural to, I guess.
Absolutely. I have seen hairstylists who are natural look down on women who wear wigs or say something slick like, your hair is beautiful. Your curl pattern is beautiful. I know. It's under this wig.
Okay. Cross culture.
Uh-huh. Oh,
they're wearing them too.
Everybody.
Do they look at black women a certain way for wearing weaves or naturals or?
Because they want it too.
Everybody want this.
Everybody want it. There is a
what year was that when it just boomed up when everybody wanted it?
To be honest, it's been very recent. I would probably say within the past 5 to 6 years. Because this is the killer part. Mm-hmm. Now, Europeans and Caucasians have learned how to do weaves on their hair. Because for the longest, they could not do weaves because they could not braid their hair and for long periods of time without washing it. Caucasian hair, you have to wash their hair like every couple of days. Not every day if you're oily. Wow. Right? So it would loosen up. Well, now they have a method called hand-tied weft extensions where they have created little beads that they connect and they sew the tracks on that. So now everybody can wear it. But I feel like they're a little behind the game because we've been doing it for a whole hot
We've been doing everything. Never mind. That's a whole other. Yeah. All right. So before I let you get you out of here, what's more important? Right? Mm-hmm. On a Saturday morning, you got to get up and run, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. You walking around looking like Cleo from Set It Off, right? What's more important? Is it the weave or the makeup if I'm just running to Walmart?
Oh. I say it's the weave. I say it's the hair. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. It goes back to skincare. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as far as washing my face, my husband actually hates when I wear makeup. He's like, baby, if you just got on some lip gloss and some lotion.
Yeah.
He's like, I prefer that over the makeup. And to be honest, some women look better with less makeup.
Well, what was your thoughts when I think it was Alicia Keys went through that whole I'm gonna get everybody to stop wearing makeup, and social media was scary for a quick second there.
Obviously, she doesn't live in Texas. The women in Texas ain't playing that. They coming out full face, honey, at 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
At the concert.
Yeah.
It really is where you are at. I feel like I love what she was trying to do, and I get it, but there's no way. And plus, she messing with my money, so I wasn't promoting that.
Let me ask you this, and this will be I got to ask you this. And you're a woman of God. You brought faith into your industry, into your career. Is there a stigma in between? Okay, so like for me, I do Christian hip hop. I do gospel. I do worship music. When I work out, I still listen to old school hip hop. I can't really rock with the new stuff because I can't really understand it. Yeah. But like in the faith, right? Is there a stigma between the weaves or not, and the makeups or not, or with the believers?
Too. I mean, the pastors.
Yeah.
Because again, it goes back to it being an accessory. The hair does not make you.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's supposed to enhance. It's going back to that enhancement
part,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't think I have really seen this. If anything, they trying to see what hair they gonna wear for Easter or for the concert.
No more hats, hair.
Do I want highlights? Do I want curly hair? Do I want crochet? It's really, again, it goes back to accessorizing and knowing that it's something that is not needed. It's there to enhance.
All right. And I know now I feel like I'm about to get therapy. This ain't even about my skin. Let's say, because I got a fear, right, of one of these locks getting dry and popping off, right?
Yes.
I can weave it back on here, or I can what do you do? What do I do with it?
Now, I personally don't do that. And that's another thing about the hair industry. Because it is always evolving, and there's so many, like there's people who just do locks and that's it, and they make a career out of it, right?
Yeah.
For example, there's a couple of ladies that I know, they literally, you could bring that lock in and they have techniques where they can like stitch it back to your hair.
Yeah, as I get older.
It just grows in. So
I always be like, yo, as I get older, it's got to start thin, and sooner or later, I'm going to start crocheting these joints to each other and getting them done.
And if you lost it, you can go ahead and just
put that joint back on. Yeah, that's true. Nobody ever know it. I got to say that. Now, last but not least, I got to get into your bag. I got to get into your pocket. This industry, right? And let's just play good, because we know you pulled up in a helicopter. We know that. We know you pulled up in a helicopter. We watch it. No. First 5 years, give me a guesstimated range for the average person. We know there's some unicorns out there that'll bust through, get some celebrities, but the average person jumping into the game. First 5
years?
First 5 to 10.
I would say if you're really serious about, and hair and makeup or just makeup, or both?
Both.
I would say you could comfortably do about $5,000 a month. So that's roughly about $60,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, about $60,000. If you're really serious about it, I ain't talking about the people that are like, oh, I like it this month, and I didn't have it because. No, if you are really serious, you have a business plan.
Yeah.
And you have a goal. You can make these, and that's not even including men.
But with that 60, you need to pour that back into the company, because you're not moving out the house with that. Yeah.
No. Because that's the thing. You have to save for a rainy. You have to be very strategic with your money too.
Yeah.
Because there are slow seasons.
Okay. What is the slow season?
Slow seasons is usually like January, February. It's cold, it's rainy. There's really not a lot of events. Everybody's recovering from the holidays as far as spending money, right? And then it picks back up when it gets warmer outside. We got Mardi Gras, we got weddings,
prom,
we have rodeo, we have prom, we have senior photo shoots.
Right.
So I normally say the warmer months, which is 85% of the year here in Texas. That's why being in Texas and a makeup artist is probably one of the hands down best states to be in.
I love it. You got a favorite scripture that you usually go to, or a Bible, or anything?
Yes, Jeremiah 29:11.
How can people get in touch with you? How can they book you right now? Look right there in the camera and talk to them.
Yes, you can book me at www.flawlessenvymakeup.com. My phone number is 832-422-7322. Or you can find me on Instagram as Flawless Envy Makeup and Beauty. And on Facebook, Flawless Envy Makeup and Beauty.
All right. More of your favorites, go swing over to the YouTube page at Blessed Beats Media. Remember, Beats is always spelled with the Z, Beatz, where we interview dope people. I told y'all I was going to learn something about it. Y'all take care.